Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Celestial Oracle Codes. So, if this reading found you, if this message has found you today, then some bondage and constraints are leaving your life, and some happiness is entering your life. So, this is already an interesting energy to literally have such contradicting energy as the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Cups. They're very far removed from each other. In fact, you can never experience this while experiencing this, and vice versa, right? So there's nothing that's binding you. There's no hidden agenda. There's nothing that's keeping you blind or making you feel emotionally tied or attached to certain outcomes. Or I am hearing dead ends. Also, there's no separation from your community in this place that you're going. So I could be speaking to someone who's gone through all of those things that I've just mentioned, and that might be good confirmations for you that this message is for you. But by no means do you have to go through any of the things that I say as confirmations for this message for it to be for you. So please use your discernment, take what resonates and leave the rest. Because what I'm hearing very strongly is stop running after what is meant to walk beside you. Yeah, stop running after what is meant to walk beside you. Okay, so we got, I'm like, we're just gonna take them all. How about that? Like, I never take them all, so today we're gonna take them all. All right, so yeah, so you've gone through quite some things. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So let's talk about some confirmations that this message is for you. And then we'll talk about that it's coming. Okay, so some confirmations that this message is for you is you may have released yourself from bondage. You may have liberated yourself from an addiction, from a toxic relationship, from a toxic situation, from an unstable work situation, from an opportunity that was supposed to stabilize but escalated, from something that was taking too much of your time, draining your peace, draining your energy, draining your peace of mind, from those who were attached or trying to manipulate or cause hardships in your life, or just become chaotic influence or energy that disrupts the even flow and energy flow in your life and in your reality or in your internal state. I'm hearing. Okay. So this message might be for you if you've gone through that. This message might be for you if you've ever felt bound to a situation precariously, if you felt like things were emotionally draining for you, if you felt like your hands were tied, even if it wasn't the truth, even if you and your attitude or your way of thinking have put you in a bad place or in a bad way or at odds with your reality. This message may also be for you if the way that you felt, any kind of depression, or the way that you approached your own mastery and the mastery of your mind and logic and problems and communication has led to an alienation or a dissociation with your environment or your community. So see how all the way in the back there, you can barely see it, but there's like this little castle or something right there on the hill. And it's almost like the swords that she's obviously put herself behind, right? She's put all of this angst, these problems, these issues between her and her community, between her and her emotional resolve, between her and the way out, between her and her new horizon. And then she's holding herself bound, like you can see that these aren't tight straps. So it's almost like you want to be encased in that. And that's you is a scapegoat, okay? And this is all things from the past, right? We're talking about confirmations that this message is for you. So if any of that's true for you, then this message might clearly be for you. If any of those devil energies have affected your life recently and you overcame them, right? You set firm, healthy boundaries. And you're enforcing them. Thank you, Most High. And you are continuing on this journey of self discovery, self liberation, and justice and morality for yourself. And you recently had to either put up walls or guard yourself. And really, this is kind of you right here, battered and bruised, right? You've been through the fight. You are almost like at the wit's end. You're like, actually, if another thing comes and tries to break down these walls, I'm just gonna let it in. How about that? Like, it gives that type of energy. But it's really about how you've persevered, how you've adapted, how you've been flexible in this life with all these situations, all these toxic people, all these toxic instances, all of these people blaming you for so much, lying on you for so much, spreading rumors and lies about you so much, and really feeling good about themselves for doing this. So what they don't understand is you have always been destined for this, right? That's why this came out in the beginning, because this is what is meant for you, and this is what's on the table for you, right? Emotional fulfillment, excess of emotional fulfillment, your happily ever after, all of the nostalgia, and your cups full and overflowing, and the abundance that it takes to sustain you, your family, your loved ones, the people that you care about, and functionally creating a legacy and happiness and all of this protection. Rainbow is the most protective light, so that's all of the protection that's over your life. And ultimately, this comes after a time when you had to put up the fight, you had to put up the walls, but this is also letting you know that you can release the walls. You don't have to hold your boundaries so tightly. Like, we want you to increase those boundaries and make sure that you're enforcing the limits, but ultimately we don't want you creating barriers and blockages against your abundance, against your relationships, against your love, against your health and healing, your nurturing, your restoration. I'm hearing your overall abundance, prosperity, your luxury, your happiness in life, everything that keeps you going and sustains you after all of this fight, after you had to put up the walls against this devil energy, after you had to free yourself from the bondage and maybe the residual negative internal dialogue that kept you down, bogged down every day in this low vibrational energy. Every day feeling like you had to defend yourself against maybe addictions, against toxic people, toxic situations. Either way, toxic people, places, and things, period. And you had to build walls, and you had to create a fortress almost here, right? Where you also created, this is like a mental prison, all these swords, where you're clearly bound by very loose straps, so you can set yourself free from the emotionally draining situation right here at the feet where all that water is coming out. That's an emotionally draining situation that made you create a negative internal dialogue or boundaries within the mind that kept you confined. That's what that means. And ultimately, it created boundaries over here, Nine of Wands, in your reality, against all of the negative influence, the negative external influences and internal influences, the programming, the desensitization, any drugs and addiction, or any kind of affliction. This is also addiction to procrastination, addiction to self-sabotage. This is any kind of any enjoyment in the excess or fulfillment through some over excessive indulgence of anything to numb the pain of whatever it was that caused this negative internal dialogue, that caused the emotional drainage, and that caused all of these walls to go up against your world. Wow. Powerful. And so at the end of the day, we see that some kind of change has come into your life that was out of your control. And it made you feel like things were out of your control. And it was destabilizing, I'm hearing. And it felt like you sometimes couldn't go on. Because I'm hearing very strongly that you stop running after what is meant to walk beside you. Yeah, stop running after what is meant to walk beside you. So all of this, the mental anguish, the action to always have to defend yourself, the guard against or the liberating yourself from all of the trauma, the toxic elements and the energies in your life that ultimately, you know, all of this could have residuated or resulted from a tower moment or a precarious situation that was out of your control that made you, gave you the negative internal log, made you put up the boundaries, made you get rid of all of the negative lower vibrational toxicities, and then create strong healthy boundaries that made sure that you were aligned with experiences that did not allow any of that energy back into your life, creating this change. So this is how it came out for a lot of you. A lot of you, you just went through all of this and then it created a change that was fundamental and out of your control, leading to a hermit situation or you isolating yourself and then becoming a new version of yourself through a rebirth. So all of this is in the past. So if this sounds like your past, then this message is most certainly almost, or if not, a personal reading for you, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm definitely we're just gonna get the messages out here, okay? And I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, guys, but there's a lot to go through, and I don't have a whole lot of time. So stop exhausting yourself trying to force what is supposed to flow. That is the message that's coming here. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm flipping cards over there. That's the message that's coming here with these cards specifically, right? You don't have to force things. You don't have to entrap yourself, encase yourself, feeling like things aren't moving forward, emotionally draining yourself, holding up barriers to all of the good things that are trying to come into your life because you're focused on this negative mental state that's focused on the negative attachments or outcomes from the past, and then creating the negative internal dialogue that creates the boundaries and the blockages to all of your desires in life, and ultimately is creating a situation that you really don't feel like you have full control over. But Spirit is saying this: you've got a lot more control than you think. Stop convincing. Yeah, I'm hearing stop exhausting yourself trying to force what is supposed to flow. Stop proving, stop chasing, because the energy coming through today is clear. You're not meant to chase this. And the moment you truly understand why everything begins to change is when everything begins to change. So let me bring it to your attention. You went through a lot of mental anguish, a lot of problems, and a lot of ways that you had to strategically plan and, move yourself out of problems and miscommunications in a very particular strategic way. Ultimately, you created boundaries that protected yourself from any lower vibrational energies, lower toxicity, lower vibrational places and experiences, and any circumstances that left you chained or bound or undecided, chaotic, conflicted, and distorted in any way. Ultimately, this led to for some of you, this led to a situation that equaled a circumstance that was out of your control that led to a hermit situation or isolation and then a rebirth. And for others of you, you created a situation and this was actually in your control. And you actually fundamentally, pulled the carpet, essentially, is the energy of this, out from under the people in your life that were creating this devil energy that you had to put up these barriers against and that were causing you to have all of this negative internal dialogue, keep yourself bound and emotionally drained. And ultimately, through the change that you initiated and the tower moment that you caused, and so it was in your control, but maybe out of your control after initiated, and then out of everyone's controls but your own, through your own initiation, led to an isolation, which ultimately illuminated you and gave you some deeper wisdom from going within that led to a rebirth that is now, woo-hoo-hoo, you guys, this is a beautiful reading because I see so much remnants of my life here, but also I see so much of the light at the end of the tunnel here, like we so deeply deserve. And so this is what I'm going to say. As always, as we get started, this is a collective reading. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Trust your own discernment above all else, and your inner wisdom. This message is not about becoming passive. It's not about giving up. It's not about refusing to take action. It is about your inner strength, your resilience, your flexibility, the next steps to take, and all of the integrated lessons that you should have learned or should be learning from everything you've already gone through. Because everything that I've said here is the past. The only thing that's not the past is this, that resembles the energy that you're embodying, that is calling in a brand new future for you. So that's the beginning of this reading, right? That's to let me see your energy. And then everything after that was everything you've been through. Or, some of you might have been through some of what I've said, but for some of you, you've really gone through everything I've said. You've really gone through everything I said. And so, two things I want to say. I love you unconditionally, and I'm very much proud of you because I don't think you get to hear it enough if you've ever heard it in your life. And ultimately, it's your strength and resilience that got you here, and how amazing and capable, worthy, good enough, more than good enough, and how very significant you are. It just has to be said right now. So please trust your own discernment and inner wisdom above all else. This message is about understanding the difference between aligned action and desperate pursuit, because there is a difference. And many of you are learning that right now. But I'm going to let you know right now as we enter this and I go into the deepest parts of this message, the channel message coming in from the Most High at this time is, you are not meant to suffer, but you are meant to overcome suffering. So please understand that any challenge you experience is only to make you stronger and propel you forward in life. So the energy around the collective feels tired. Not physically tired, but mentally tired. And some of you are physically tired. You're tired of holding the walls. You're tired of holding your ground. You're tired of defending yourself. You're tired of always having to be the strategic player, thinker, the logical communicator, and the one who has to solve the problems. Because, it seemed for a long time that you were in environments that specifically were only trying to cause you pain and make you feel confined or constrained or bound to them in some precarious way. That's what's coming through here. So, your soul is tired. That's what that means. This is soul tired energy. And what happens when we experience soul tired energy? Well, we don't want to be in the devil energy forever. We're sick of being bound and feeling emotionally drained. We don't want to have to fight and put up barriers against everything in our life. And so the soul creates a situation that's out of our control that leads to a profound illumination that comes from within, and a rebirth that ensures our cup is fulfilled. We have the right inspiration, the right invitations, the right circumstances, the right love and quality, and the right intuition, intuitive prospects, trust, self-love, self-care, and full embodiment of this emotional, nostalgic, but emotionally mature and present experience that's leading to a creative and nurturing time where this creative and nurturing energy is entering your life. It's calling you to create something, but more importantly, fundamentally, what this Empress is saying right now in this reading is there is something that either you have nurtured, birthed, or created that needs to be nurtured and sustained, maintained, or supported by you, or there's something that you're being called to nurture, create, or support. Yeah. One way or another, you're either being called to create or support and nurture an environment or a situation that will lead to great financial and all kinds of abundance. So this is an abundance of spirituality, an abundance of finance, an abundance of love, an abundance of health, and just those mutually beneficial, soul aligned relationships I'm hearing. So that's a powerful message coming through for you. A very powerful message indeed. And so, many of you have spent far too much energy trying to make something happen, right? Trying to make someone understand, trying to make someone choose you, trying to make someone see your value, trying to make a door open, trying to force clarity, trying to um, create situations that actually are leaving you bound and constrained, confined, or making you feel like you have to fight for everything and every chance and every ounce of respect that you get in life. Wow. Trying to make them see your value, trying to make someone choose you, right? Trying to speed up timing, trying to force clarity, trying to hold together something that keeps slipping through your fingers. And I'm hearing that Spirit says, what if the reason it's exhausting is because it was never yours to carry alone? What if the reason you feel drained is because you've been doing both your part and theirs? Right? What if the struggle itself is the sign? The truth Spirit wants you to hear. The message is simple. What is truly meant for you does not require self-abandonment. It does not require constant anxiety, right? It does not require you to always feel like you're bound and constrained or overthinking. It does not require endless shrinking. It does not require constant anxiety. It does not require you to beg, you to be confound, you to always protect yourself, you to be battered and bruised, you to be confused, shaken, chaotic, distorted, disturbed, disassociated. It does not require you to become less of yourself. It will never require you to beg, right? Many of you have mistaken effort for alignment, and you believe that if you just tried harder, loved harder, explained more, waited longer, sacrificed more, then things would finally work. But Spirit says the blessing is not supposed to break you before it reaches you. And what you're being asked to release is the belief that your worth must be earned. Because this is your energy now, and this is what it's attracting in, right? After all of that, after all of the negative emotional drainage and all of the, self-imposed limitations, this is a huge card of self-imposed limitations that are emotionally draining and causing negative internal dialogue, that Eight of Swords energy. But this is your energy, that Empress and Ten of Cups energy. So that's what's coming in. It might be a new romance that's coming to you. This might just be emotionally fulfilling offer. This might be a new creative relationship. This can also be a business partnership or invitation. But one way or another, this is some invitation to an event or circumstance or into a community or residual experience that leads to an emotionally fulfilling situation or community or relationship in your life. Beautiful. You deserve it. You deserve it. Say that now. I deserve happiness because I'm worthy of miracles in all forms in this life. Oh, that's your new mantra. Because it's true. You're being asked to release the belief that love must be chased. You're being asked to release the belief that opportunity only comes through struggle. Right? I'll say it again. You are not meant to suffer, but you are meant to overcome suffering. And you're being asked to release the belief that if you stop pushing, everything will disappear. Because what belongs in your life will not require constant pursuit to remain. And the right people move toward you. The right opportunities move toward you. That's what this is. This is the attraction. This is you on the steel throne now. This is the reality that is reconfiguring itself around you. And this is the most prominent thing you can look forward to. Either a new romantic relationship, a new inspiration, a new soul-aligned partnership or friendship or some invitation and event that leads to this emotional fulfillment and that leads to this emotional fulfillment and abundant, nurturing, creative time in your life. Beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message, you guys, especially after everything you've been through, after everything we've been through. So the right doors open when the timing is ready. Remember that. And this already shows this is right door opening energy. This is right door opening energy. That's what this is. Okay? This is your creation energy, right? This is the vibration that you hold, the feeling of the abundance, worth, and just worthiness, deservedness, the significance, the, just full of the self-esteem and the confidence that truly is yours in this life, right? You deserve to be that. And so this is showing that you are in the vibration of that Venusian energy or that divine feminine energy that is attracting in this offer. Now, that can be an offer of love or an offer of business or an offer of creative pursuit or just a mutually beneficial platonic relationship, a new friendship. It can be any type of offer. It can be any kind of type of offer. But one thing we know is your vibration, your high vibrational quality is attracting in some kind of new offer or experience one way or the other. It is leading to this excess of emotional fulfillment and happiness and bliss in your world. Okay? That is what the cards say. So for any of you who are searching for that kind of confirmation in your life, that kind of prophecy in your life, you're looking for it to start unfolding, well, this is your confirmation that it's starting to unfold now. If you've been through all of those things that we said in the past, you've done the work. You've done the work. You have gone through it and done the work. This is those cards, right? These are the cards of I've done the work. And they come out like this. I've done the work. I've gone through the isolation. I've gone through the rebirth. I've gone through the precarious situations and all the distortion and the changes that felt out of my control. I've gone through it, right? So now you're finally to the place where you can start to see why, right? It had to get you to this vibration. It had to get you to where you're calling these in through your frequency and your vibration, and where all of this from the past can't touch this in the future. Okay? Oh my gosh, what a powerful reading this is. So this has been teaching you, right? There's a hidden lesson. For many of you, the situation was never about the person. It was never about the job. It was never about the outcome. It was about teaching you your value, teaching you boundaries, teaching you discernment, teaching you that being chosen starts with choosing yourself. Because once you start chasing something, powerful happens. You finally get to see who's willing to meet you halfway. You finally get to see what naturally belongs. And you finally get to see what was only surviving because of your effort. And that clarity changes everything. Trust me. So what happens when you stop chasing? Well, I keep hearing the river flows toward ocean without forcing. And that's, again, this energy, emotional fulfillment, where things flow for you, where you're attracting things naturally. And ultimately, that's your message. When you stop chasing, you become magnetic. When you stop forcing, you become clear. When you stop proving, you become powerful. When you stop begging for a seat at the table, you realize you were meant to build your own. And the energy shifts. Your nervous system calms, your spirit opens, your intuition strengthens, your peace returns. And suddenly, you guys, suddenly, what is aligned begins finding its way to you. So trust in this process, because you've been through the worst of it. And this is your congratulations, all right? You've been through the worst of it. This is it. This is your strong person, and I don't care what anybody in this world says, because this kind of energy can kill people, and you survived it. And now you are in this Empress energy, attracting in new offers and opportunities and preparing for the excess emotional fulfillment to unfold in your life. And it's about to start. So this is your confirmation. If it's not already started, for some of you, you're already seeing the differences. For some of you, you're already in that energy of, I can't believe this is happening to me. Somebody pinch me. Is this actually, gonna last? Yes, it's going to last. So this is also confirmation for those of you who've been feeling like something's gonna come in this phase and snatch it away from you. It's not happening, okay? Okay? It's protected. Your blessings are protected this time. And when you stop proving, you become very powerful. Period. And now, right, your peace is returning, your intuition has strengthened, your spirit has opened, honestly. And now what's aligned with you is beginning to find its way to you. And that's all you're seeing. That's the reconfiguration of the Empress calling in the offers and reality becoming Ten of Cups after obviously it was Eight of Swords and Nine of Wands and Devil energy, right? So the collective is being called into a new season, a season of receiving instead of pursuing, a season of alignment instead of desperation, and a season of trust instead of fear, a season where your energy is invested into building your future rather than chasing what keeps running away from it. And Spirit says, you don't have to chase what the Most High has already written into your path. You only need to remain available for it. So my closing message for you, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. This went a little longer than I thought it was going to go, but I really wanted to read these cards out because you've been through a lot and you deserve to hear how that is about to shift and change your reality, your internal state, your external circumstances, and your relationships, okay? Also, your financial situation, I'm hearing. And for some of you, your health, your work, your career, and finding your purpose too. So you're not falling behind, you're not missing your blessing, you're not losing what is truly yours. You are simply being asked to stop running after what was never meant to require pursuit. Confirmation received on my phone. Take your energy back, take your peace back, take your focus back, take your power back, and trust that what is truly aligned will not need to be hunted. It will arrive through divine timing, honest action, and sacred alignment. And that's what this is, okay? This is divine alignment, right? Empress energy is the highest divine alignment there is. And ultimately, that's attracting what? Well, that's attracting honest action, sacred alignment, messages, invitations, relationships, and emotionally fulfilling reality and situation, circumstances, and love. Yes, for many of you, this is true love. Some of you wanted to hear me say that. So I'm saying it right now. For some of you who have been waiting, that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you saw this, it's true. It's true. It's confirmation for you. Oh, I love you so much. So I just hope that made your day because it's true and you deserve it. So just take your peace back, take your energy back, take your focus back, take your power back, and trust that what is truly aligned will not need to be hunted. I'll say it again. Because the deepest truth of this reading is you're not meant to chase this. You're meant to become so aligned with your own path that what belongs there naturally finds you. That's what this is. That's what this is. Does she look like she's going and finding nothing? No, she's sitting there in an attractive way. He looks like he's coming to find. Here's your offer. Oh, what is it? What's my offer? It's a brand new reality. I'm just kidding. But you see the point. Anyway, you're meant to become so aligned with your own path that what belongs to you, what belongs there just naturally finds you. And that beautiful soul changes everything. So if this message resonated, comment, I release the chase and trust divine timing and alignment. I love you. I honor you. And I'll see you in my next reading. Oh, sorry. And I'm sending you all my light, my love, and my blessings as always. And I'll see you in my next reading.